Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a battle of the Caravanserais, which I'm hoping is the plural of Caravanserai, as Capoch, playing as the Hindustanis in red, prepares to take on MbL, playing as the Persians in green. Ooh, it would have been cool if he was purple. I could have gotten to say that MbL playing as the Persians in purple, but in any event, MbL is in green. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate oink oink baby surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Hindustani, a civilization that pushes its players towards an army comp made out of gunpowder and camel units. To start with, all of their gunpowder units come with extra armor and can be upgraded. Their hand cannoneers, rather, can be upgraded to get +2 extra range. Now, their camels do also come with a few cool features. To start with, they do get an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses one of my main concerns with camels, which is they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Second, Hindustani camels do attack 20% faster, and they have access to the Imperial Camel Rider, a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast upgraded version of the already awesome Heavy Camel Rider. Now, in order to defend their hand cannoneers from pesky ranged units that might want to snipe them, the Hindustanis can field a second unique unit, the Ghulam. This is an anti-archer infantry unit that moves quickly, has high pierce armor, and an attack bonus against archers. And by the way, their spear does damage to multiple units at once. Now, in order to support the quick production of their expensive units, Hindustani villagers do become cheaper, starting in the Dark Age, 8% cheaper right now, all the way up to 23% cheaper in Imperial. And their economy can be made a lot more efficient by increasing the speed of all gold income and reducing the market commodity trading fee from 30% to 10%, making it the second best in the game after, of course, the infamous, legendary, quote-unquote, abusive Saracen rate of 5%. Now let's take a look at the Persians in green, not in purple, an economic powerhouse with a tech tree that is incredibly strong and diverse. In addition to getting access to every single economic upgrade available in the game, I will repeat that, every single economic upgrade available. They do start the game with 50 extra food, 50 extra wood. Their town centers work progressively faster right off the bat, starting in the Dark Age, 5% faster right now, all the way up to 20% faster in Imperial. And man, oh man, can the Persians be a pain in the butt to raid, because their town centers, take a look at this, do come with 4,800 HP compared to the usual 24, so double the amount of HP, and their castles can be upgraded to take less bonus damage and fire more powerful bullets instead of arrows. And by the way, those bullets, they come with attack bonuses against rams and infantry, two fantastic unit types that are amazing at taking down castles. Going to have a little bit of a tougher time chewing through a Persian castle with the Citadel's upgrade. Now, using their economic advantages, the Persians do focus primarily on cavalry. Their Nightline units come with an extra attack bonus against archers, and using every single upgrade available from both the stables and the blacksmith, the Persians can field not one but two unique cavalry units. The first needs no introduction, the chunkiest of the chunkiest waddly boys, the War Elephant, a unit that comes with a powerful attack, a huge amount of hit points, does massive trample damage, but is also both super expensive and still kind of slow. The second is the Savar, a heavy cavalry unit that replaces the Persian Paladin and comes with a decent additional attack bonus against archers. Now, to support their cavalry, Persian archers themselves and their crossbows can be upgraded to turn them into trash units that only cost 60 wood, or if you want to be a little bit more mobile with your archers, oh, I don't know, maybe follow the latest meta where everyone and their grandmother is building cavalry archers, well, you do get Parthian tactics in the Castle Age as the Persians. So joining a long tradition, maybe not so long tradition, of Imperial Age stuff being available in the Castle Age. I'm looking at you Burgundians, I'm looking at you Bohemians, and now the Persians with their tech. Not exactly a unit like the Cavalier or the Hand Cannoneer, but more like the Burgundian economic techs that are available in Age earlier. In this case, you get Parthian tactics, which does add a bit of armor. It does increase your attack bonus against spearman line units. Those are the two civilizations we've got before us, one with a cheaper villager, one with a quicker working town center. We'll see how this all shapes up. By the way, we have the makings of an absolutely epic late game clash between two relatively new and two incredibly powerful Imperial Camel Rider units and Savar units. And fingers crossed we get to see this game go on for, oh, I don't know. My voice is still recovering. So let's be realistic. Let's say about an hour. I'll be happy if we get to see an hour. In any event, all jokes aside, let's take a look at the attack path between the two bases. Seems fairly simple, A to B, with the exception of one forest in the way. I'm noticing one very important thing about both bases is a complete dearth of wood. There are no forests anywhere in the immediate vicinity. Capoch has one to the rear, one kind of in the front. MbL has two in the rear. Let's take a look as both players are now in Feudal, where those resources are located, by the way. Primary gold to the back, primary stone, kind of but not really on the attack path off to the side. Extra gold to the top, extra gold to the bottom, and extra stone off to the rear position. So not a terrible location for some of these resources, but in terms of open bases, I mean, MbL just has maybe one of the most open bases I've ever seen on this map, as does Capoch, by the way. I don't know what the hell is going on with Arabia lately with all of these very distant forests and very open bases. Our Hindustani has his primary stone secure to the back, his primary gold annoyingly exposed on top of a hill. Ugh. You know what? At least you get the high ground and you can defend your villagers from the high ground. That's at least one silver lining here. Extra gold to the top right and extra gold and stone to the bottom left. So both players, I would say, equally advantaged and disadvantaged here, as the dots, both red and green, are starting to light up the minimap like a Christmas tree. We've got a scout to the back, another Hindustani scout to the back, another Hindustani scout, this time being chased away by a very aggressive Persian spearman. Okay, MbL. Now, the line of sight on the spearman is pretty damn good, so he is just keeping track on reinforcements. For now, the three little dots are meeting three little green dots. And so are we about to see a bit of a cavalry clash? Looks like MbL has discovered this one scout, adds a fourth of his own. Both players sitting 25, 27 villagers. The Persian ability to pump out villagers taking the lead here. Capoch does only have 2 seconds of TC idle time, but he is down 2 villagers despite his villagers being 13% cheaper. Man, do they not like to make things easy for casters, the developers. It used to be 5, 10, 15, 20. Now it's 8, 13, 18, 23. I mean, you're already confusing us with the Manaspa numbers. Just make things easy for us, you know? As casters, of course, says the selfish caster. Okay, the Hindustani army is being shooed away, but they have caught wind of this one Persian spearman who is running away into a bit of a nook in a corner here. You will see the wall off being built, or at least a house being built. Going for the high ground is MbL. Nope, never mind. Are we about to see the first kill of the game? We are, and it is a spearman who dies right as the wall off begins its construction. Back home, we're going up to double archery range in the Feudal Age. MbL does have the requisite structures and archery range and a stable. So are we going to get to see cav archers? We saw this play recently where the stable was gotten for bloodlines and husbandry, and then the cav archers just started streaming out of those stables. Pardon me, out of those archery ranges. But wait a second, our Hindustani is still here. 7 scouts, not including the first one. That is 480 food. Capoch could have the food count he needed right now to go up to Castle Age. Instead, he is investing it into this very fast, very mobile, but on the whole, very weak army. As his opponent says, okay, I think I can hold back home. So MbL starts moving across the map as Capoch again just takes a bit of a, you know, sightseeing trip into the Persian world, and then takes a massive detour outside of it, giving MbL an opportunity here to close with his 4 scouts, 2 spearmen, 2 archers, a bit more of a diverse army out of our 3 archers rather, out of our Persian, who is looking to equalize the kill count. And right as I say that, he does exactly that. Oh, if only our Hindustani had those 7 scouts here back home, they could wreak a lot of havoc on this Persian force. 7 scouts and a few additional units basically mean that these high ground spearmen also don't really have a chance. Bloodlines, wheelbarrow. Okay. Capoch firmly ensconcing himself in the Feudal Age. And here we go. The Hindustani is coming home just in time for 3. Now you're adding 3 spearmen is going to be a big problem for these scouts. By the way, MbL also adding wheelbarrow. So both players doubling down. They have an 8-3 against the dealer face card, and they are doubling down in the Feudal Age. That being said, wait a second. This green army is a little trapped here. The problem is Capoch doesn't really have anything to engage into this army. Not with 5 spearmen now. Did he wait a little bit too long to bring back his cavalry force home? He's going to bust into here, but this position has long been abandoned. A very interesting base situation here for our Hindustani. I don't know what this is, what shape to even call this. A rectangle. But the villagers have left. A tower is going up to defend the not primary but secondary gold. Primary gold being out here exposed in the middle of nowhere, of course, is not mineable. Not with this kind of army out of our Persian. And Capoch heading up to Castle Age. He's down 5 villagers. His lumberjacking operations have been removed. Or sorry, my lumberjacking is... Oh my god. I was looking at the berry bush and I thought it was a tree. And my brain rewired itself. The berry picking operation has been... Ooh, does he notice the spearman shadows? He does not. MbL gets a second, gets a third kill, shoes away. This Hindustani army on the other side of the map. It looks like the Hindustani has managed to get a villager kill. The first one of the game. But not busting into here. Makes these scouts very, very defenseless until they can close in on yet another villager kill. Let's see what our Persian can accomplish here because, okay. Capoch just doesn't care to garrison his villagers. At this point, do you also move in your bipedal army? I mean, if Capoch garrisons his villagers, you may lose 1 or 2, but you'll still get them here into the back, and then all of a sudden, he is going to get trapped unless he deletes his own houses. Castle Age for our Hindustani. Cavalry archers! What? 3 archery ranges, cavalry archers! I mean, what the hell is going on in the meta in this game? Now, Hindustani cavalry archers, I shouldn't be too shocked. They're surprised or prepubescent. They're not terrible. They basically have every single upgrade available to them in the Castle Age. Nothing particularly special in terms of civ bonuses. But it is still a pretty damn good cav archer. Has all the upgrades. I think they're missing Parthian tactics, which is funny because they're up against a civilization that gets Parthian tactics in the Castle Age. And I'm really curious. Have we added any more archery ranges back home? No, just the 2. Scouts are trying to bust their way in here. They have demolished a house, but unfortunately, you still just do attack on a 5. Archers everywhere for our Persian, whose army count is a massive 37 to the 16. He's ahead 21 army count at the 20-minute mark of the game. Oh no. Will Capoch notice, or will he lose another scout? He loses another scout. But don't worry. There are cav archers coming in to the top right of MbL's base. He's up to 11 cavalry archers. Let's see if they can get any villager kills right now. Should get 1. Nope. Should get 0 as the villagers just reposition themselves. Now, cavalry archers need wood. How many does he have on wood? Okay, so he's got 15 villagers on wood. I don't know the exact amount, the Spirit of the Law magic number of lumberjacks you need as the Hindustanis to continually pump out units from 3 archery ranges. For now, it seems a little bit of a waste because he's not training a single unit from those archery ranges. Our Persian has gone up to crossbows. He needs a castle if he wants to do this. He needs Commanderan. Gets another villager. 3 villager kills from MbL as his scouts close in. 1 horse plays that. Remember, it was like really popular a few years ago to be in like a train station or a bus station or a subway, and then everyone would just like freeze. That's what happened to that horse there, except, oh no, you popped out in the wrong part of town, my friend. He did not get the memo that the trend ended about 5 years ago. So he just kind of froze. Crossbows to the south are going to meet cav archers. Crossbows to the north are taking on a structure, but you are not Saracen crossbowmen with an attack bonus against the buildings, and you are not magic crossbows Vietnamese with extra HP, so you die immediately. Second TC going up for our Persian, who still has a 5 villager lead. Capoch is doubling down on army, finally training more, but he is pulling villagers. He's got 0 villagers on wood. Our Hindustani, who is focusing on cav archers, loses another vill in the retreat. For his part, he is back here. Ooh, if he only went a little bit further south, he would discover the town center here. Both players now have ballistics. Green army count literally double Red's army count. Ahead now 6 villagers, adding a 3rd town center, which the scouts do see. And now we've got bands of units all over the map. Another villager kill by MbL. Another villager kill. He's up to 11, 12 villager kills, but it looks like Capoch just managed to get 1 villager kill of his own. Was it a repairing villager? Was it a constructing villager? We'll have seen that in picture. The scouts move in. The scouts, oh, you are just basic scouts. And I don't know, but I'm going to assume this is the one that was frozen next to that university over here. Oh no. Oh no. MbL. 16 villager kills. Does take the high ground, but he is going to get slaughtered by these cav archers. He is, though, dishing as good as he's getting served here. And that's all she wrote for Army Group South. Let's see what's going on to the north. A bunch of unupgraded Feudal Age spearmen and a bunch of unupgraded Feudal Age scout units. But you can't sustain production with 9 lumberjacks, I don't think. Not out of 3 archery ranges. Although maybe I'm mistaken, he does have them going all at once. But you've lost 16 villagers. What a wonky cat and mouse situation here. Green MbL using the remnants of his Feudal Age army to zone out these cav archers, carve them up into a group of 2, but still doesn't matter. Our Hindustani has taken out these units and clears up the northern portion of his settlement. The problem is, look at the numbers. Look at it. He's down 36 villagers. Just like yesterday's game, I look away from the screen. What? Well, just like yesterday's game, we've got another short game where one player just absolutely wreaks havoc on the villager count of his opponent. But just like yesterday's game, wow. I look away from the screen for 1 second. The villager difference was 5 or 6. And then in a matter of seconds, a matter of literal minutes, it jumps up to a 36 difference. Of course, it's a Persian town center in the Castle Age. This thing pumps out villagers 15% faster now. So whatever 85% of 25-second training time is, that's how long it takes to train a Persian villager out of 3 TCs. He's training 5 villagers at a time. He's going up to massive amounts of crossbows. Now, Capoch, could he have continued? Maybe. How many villagers on wood did he have? Again, just 9. So kudos to MbL for number 1, killing as many villagers as he killed. And number 2, I'm assuming his vision of this. Yeah, look at his vision. He knows exactly where all the wood is. And he knows exactly where to move his army and where to position it. And he still has one of these scouts left. Or maybe this was the scout that was kind of hanging out here. I forget. This is the problem with casting and getting excited so often, is you forget if it was a red scout or a blue or a green scout. And so I was wondering to myself which scout it was, and then I completely forgot whose scout it actually was. These guys are heading on a collision course with a villager. She is not going to make it to the other side of the battlefield, but doesn't really matter. Apologies, had to mute the mic there to cough. But wow, 3 games, I think, in a row decided by absolute villager massacres. In this case, we didn't really go up to the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, but we got 16 villager. Even if you add back the 16 villager kills, he's still down 20 villagers. And Capoch is in a very unenviable position where he needs wood for his cav archers, which means he's not getting a second TC up anytime soon. Now, the cheaper food cost for the villagers is nice to have, but you got to seed these farms. How many farms? He's got 2 villagers on farms. Pardon me, 3 villagers on farms. So the economy is just absolutely in shambles here. He's got 14, 13, 27 villagers on gold. Okay, you could pull a Phosphorus and buy stuff, but no, apparently no, he can't because he doesn't even have a market. Wow, what an absolute confluence of amazing events here that culminate in MbL taking the W. Just the, I want to say, odd shape of the base, the shitty location of the forests, the villager maybe a misallocation, way too much on gold, not enough on wood, certainly not enough to continue training cav archers or get a TC or put up a market. Again, you're not the Saracens, your markets aren't cheaper. You're not the Malians, your markets aren't cheaper. You got to pay full price for that 175 wood structure. And if you're paying 175 wood for a market, you are not using that 175 wood to train the only military unit you've geared your entire meta in this game towards. And MbL, whether he realizes that or not, has just absolutely made an epic show of laming the wood to the back. He can easily lame, by the way, the wood to the front as well by shoving his crossbows literally right here. They do have bodkin, so they do have a good amount of range right now. He could lame half of these lumberjacks. And Capoch just doesn't have the resources he needs to get something going, either a second TC or a market to start buying resources or lumberjack operations to continue pumping out cav archers. He knows his opponent is walled in. He knows there's a TC here, but it is a Persian TC with 4,800 HP, and he is heading over. But unfortunately, yeah, so is a band of crossbowmen, and MbL still does have double the army count of his opponent, and now he's going to start roiding up his economy with heavy plow, something that our Hindustani, by the way, can't even afford. He just cannot afford even, honestly, he can't afford a single upgrade right now that I'm thinking. Maybe he can afford Loom if he doesn't already have it, but of course he already has it. That was just a joke. In any event, things just going absolutely terrible here for our Hindustani, and a lot of it has to do with MbL's just presence to the south, presence to the north, trading out crossbowmen for cav archers. And by the way, you're playing against the Persians, so how do you know that these crossbowmen aren't commander and commander and crossbows, which is still a Castle Age upgrade? You have no clue. You haven't been on this side of the map in a long time, so you don't know if there's a Persian castle right here or right here or right here, or even more defensive that he researched that upgrade from. So as far as you know, you could be facing a 60 wood trash unit. Not very common, 99.9 times out of 100, but this might be that 0.1 time. Cav archers to crossbowmen, scouts, spearmen, scouts, a bunch of feudal age trash. PKPM 25 minutes in, 29 minutes in. So literally a minute ago for MbL, about 5 minutes ago for our Hindustani. And yeah, 5,000 resources difference in a 29-minute game just shows you how bad of a lead our Persian took, with a little tiny bit of stone, but gold fairly similar. Food a little bit more, wood a little bit more, but all a little bit here and there adds up to, what is that? Almost a 30% bigger economy. Can't see any conversions. Raising's also not really playing a role. Capoch managed to destroy that one house. But really, it's just the omnipresence of this Persian army, and more importantly, for the third game in a row, if I'm not mistaken, although I could be very much mistaken, having a baby, being sick, all of it adding up to just, I feel like I'm in I don't know what, I feel like I'm on some kind of Hunter S. Thompson-esque trip to Las Vegas right now that I can't stop here. This is bad country. That's where my brain is. But it is what it is, and what it is 16 villager kills by our Persian mean that the Hindustani economy just way too far behind. He could have used those 16 villagers on wood. He could have snuck out those 16 villagers a lot earlier, put them on wood up here. Not a lot of wood down south. That's very close. Although I think he should have seen it, right? Yeah, so Capoch could have expanded to the south or the north, but he didn't. And now it's too late because there's roving bands of crossbows everywhere on the map, and MbL with the villager kills, with the crossbows, takes on yet another group of cavalry archers, prevails, takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.